Good morning everyone, welcome back. Monday the 13th of October today, and yeah, as you saw at the start of the video, the hay has been knocked down. She's on the deck. So we got some decent swaths here. I don't know that it's going to be anything amazing yield wise, but I'm certainly hoping there's about 4 tonne to the hectare of wheat hay here, and we've got a really good week this week for drying down. Actually, I'm surprised at how dry this already is. That's unreal. Yeah, we got a big run of warm days coming. 3 days 30 or 4 days 30 or above, and a couple of getting up to the mid 30s. So this stuff will cure in no time whatsoever. But yeah, it's nice to see. You put the effort into growing the crop, and you feel like you're starting to see the results of growing it. So she's been through the mower conditioner, this stuff, which should help it cure a little bit quicker, but God, I can't believe how much that's dried down. That is unreal. It's only been a couple of days. Still too wet, but jeepers, by the end of the week, a few warm days on that, that's going to be getting ready to rock and roll. Throw it in some big squares. Anyway, I have to apologise for the drone footage at the start. I don't know what's going on with the drone. Sometimes I put it up and it seems to work okay, but sometimes the footage, you see, it's like goes all wavy. It's like it's struggling with stabilisation or something like that. I'm not sure what's going on there, but anyway, while I'm standing here, have a look at this absolutely stud barley crop next door, and I can see the heads on these are really starting to fill out at the moment. It'll be interesting to see if these hot days we're going to have are going to knock this crop around much, but yeah, boy oh boy is it filling out in a hurry. Yeah, you can see some of these heads haven't done much yet, but you come to one like that and she is fat, milky dough, and you can see the ones that are filled out because they just look a bit more plump and a bit heavy kind of one way. So this crop's pretty much home. I think I'd lock this one in for an average yield at this point. It does not get much better than that, guys. That is waist high. I am 6'2", so it is a beautiful crop. I wish I could say the same. I mean, all the crops look great this year, but yeah, so barley's obviously a shorter growing season, and the fact that this is already filling out, it's way ahead of a lot of the wheat and stuff like that. That's just going to fill out and switch off now. So we'll probably start, you'd imagine we'd start harvesting this at around an average start date, depending on whether the so-called wet spring they forecast wants to come to fruition and keep us out of the paddock in November. But yeah, we'll see how it all pans out. So it has been a pretty quiet morning this morning. I just made a couple of little YouTube clips there for you guys, and if you can believe it, Pia's started school today, or a school transition. So we took her in, dropped her off. It was only a couple of hours there for her first day of transition, and picked her up and had some lunch, and yeah, I kind of can't believe it almost. Time just flies, guys. Time flies. So saw her off to school, picked her up, and anyway, we've got the last of the parts for the header, so I'm going to head around to Luke's now, and we're going to try and make a bit of a move on that and finish that off, and we'll make some headway into finishing it off. I'm sure Luke wants his shed back, so let's head around there and see if we can't get a bit done on that. Alright, so it is a little dark in here, but what we have to do is feed accelerator. We've got a couple of new bearings to put on here, so that's one job we have to do, and the other job is these, where are they? Oh, it's sitting right here. We've got these kits for the front of the rotor, so these flight repair kits. We've got these to go on the rotor, so they go on up in here. Whoa! Strong magnet. Yeah, they go on up here, as you can see, on here, and that turns, and it's kind of like an auger. It throws everything back into the rotor, so they're starting to get pretty worn down, so we've got some new ones to put on there, and feed accelerator bearings, feeder house back on, done. I'm going to have to spin some filters and do some oils and that at home, but that's pretty cruisy, so anyway, let's get to it. I'll bloody be able to wind this off with my hands. I never would have thought it would be that easy. Literally. I would have thought for all money I'll be fighting these to the death or cutting them out, but that has worked really, really nicely. You beauty. You beauty. No, that's quite a bit. They're quite warm. 2 bearings done. They're both in there now. They were actually pretty good to get off. I was well and truly impressed with how easily those bearings came out of there. And of course, up the top here, we have got our new flights on. Luke got that done while I was mucking around with the bearings. And it has been a bit of a slow afternoon for me. I've been absolutely racking my brains. I tossed up the idea of cutting another 20 hectares of hay at home. It's got a lot of ryegrass in it, but they are talking some rain next week, and I was thinking I had a few more days before the hay cutter would come available again, but they rang me a couple of hours ago and said, we can come cut that hay tonight, so I've got to make a decision. Do you leave it and hope we get a decent rain on Monday, Tuesday next week, and we might still get an average yield? Do you cut it? And then if it doesn't rain, well, you've cut the hay, so you got the hay. Don't know. Just thinking. Well, it has been an eventful morning this morning. Just got a little paddock to go out and spray top. I'm going to go do that. 2 new water tanks arrived. Helped the guy unload those. They are going on the end of the shearing shed there. And the hay cutter is actually going out here at the moment. So I've stitched him up for a few more hectares. Will I regret it? We'll know next week. But let's face it, if it rains, I'll be happy anyway, because what's out there will do a lot better than what it's going to do at the moment. So it's a win-win, lose-lose, you know, we'll see. Nice, quick, easy job taken care of. Beautiful. Some more nice looking hay going down. Plenty of ryegrass in it. Lovely to see that get chopped off. You can see it all here. Oh, get out of here. There is that much hay being cut around the place at the moment that, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the hay market does. Hopefully it doesn't slide too much, but, you know, because of the drought in southern Australia last year, we are really starting from zero with hay stocks at the moment. So hopefully we can find a home for this, because we're going to have way more on the ground than what we will use or need. He moves along, getting it done. I said, get out of my field. So this stuff on the interrow here, that's the wheat. This is all ryegrass up through here. So as you can see, hopefully it's showing up on the camera, but this was loaded, absolutely loaded in spots. Not all of it with ryegrass, but it's not doing the most premium job cutting it off, but we're getting rid of the heads, and if I got to come back and spray it out or whatever, we can do that. Take care of it afterwards. Actually works better. The other paddock we cut on a slight angle to the rows of the wheat, and it actually did a lot better job cutting. But in here, this paddock's not rolled, so it's just going to be what it is. They got to cut with the furrows, otherwise it's too rough. So my next job for the day is to get some fittings organised for these tanks, because they don't have any outlets on them anywhere, so we got to put those in. I'll probably have a 2-inch tap on either tank down the bottom and some poly pipe going between to link the two together. And then on the front tank, the one that's going to sit furthest out this way, I'll probably have a 3-inch cam lock fitting, a 2-inch cam lock fitting. Those two, the 3-inch will go to the batch mate, the 2-inch can connect straight to the sprayer in case I just want to fill the flush tank. And I'll probably get an 1.5 inch outlet on here as well. Just do the whole lot. 1.5 inch goes to the firefighter. So if we need to suck water out for the firefighter in a hurry, we can also do that. Just do the job right, and have all the fittings on there that we need to, because once we start collecting some rain in there, we won't be doing it then. Ah! Whoa! Hay's been cut. So after I organise those fittings as well, I've got a land auction to go to. I don't know if I mentioned that, and no, I don't think I'll be bidding on it, because I'm busy enough trying to keep this place afloat at the moment.
Are you still making a roast tonight?
Yeah, I was planning on it.
Yay, lovely.
Yeah, I know, the old ag bike, she doesn't sound too healthy, but I don't know, it sounded like this forever, and honestly, I don't care.
Yeah, they behave themselves pretty well.
Yeah. Well, that should do sufficiently to make it rain now. The hay's on the deck, so if it's going to rain, it'll rain now. I guess we should probably also wash our cars and maybe even re-roof the house and do a couple of things like that. That'll definitely make it rain, but this is just typical mid-north farming really, isn't it? It's just more often than not we are looking for rain in spring, and when we get them we have great years, and when we don't we struggle, and at the moment we're struggling, so fingers crossed. Anyway, all that nonsense aside, the cattle are just coming in. Dad's going to load them on a truck tomorrow and send them over to Warabra. They'll have a graze on the hills over there. There hasn't been any livestock over there, so they'll get sent over there for a while. We went to the land sale, the land auction today, and it didn't sell. It didn't even get a bid, actually. Probably a little bit of a sign of the times, but it's also the country. It's not your sort of prime arable cropping country. It's good fertile soil, but it's a lot of rock and reef and short runs and kind of high input country, so it'll be interesting to see what's going to happen with that. They're just negotiating with the registered bidders, and we did actually register the bid, but I don't think we were going to put a bid in, and I don't think we'll negotiate, to be honest. Not sure we're interested in spending 7 figures when we're just trying to make the books level out this year, and on top of the big losses of last year. So anyway, it's all good fun, it's all interesting. I don't know what'll be left of these beans after 2 days in the mid-30s and another 2 days around 30. They're starting to burn up in spots really bad, but the good news is there is pods on them, so if we can fill those out, there'll be some yield there. There is, look, there's not an abundance of pods on all of them, but some beans look, kind of like that, and if they can stack those pods full of beans, well, yeah, there'll be, it may not even be an average yield, but there'll be something out here worth harvesting. So good news is they've got a really, really big plant to draw moisture from at the moment. They really, really took off in the spring, so they bloody look magical. They could have done anything this year, honestly, but I've seen them in 2023 where you come and you look down the stem, they look a little bit like this. There is just nothing on the whole stem, and they still went 2 tonne to the hectare. You know, you'd find 1 or 2 pods on a stem, and I think they look better than that this year. Whether they can fill those pods out they've got, that remains to be seen, but yeah, this next 5 days of warm weather is going to absolutely smoke these, no doubt. Nervous for the first drive after you've done a lot of repairs? I am. I'm going the back way, I'm taking the dirt, taking it slow. Alrighty, good morning everyone. So yeah, we got the header back here yesterday. That's sort of 90% done. Got to spin some filters and replace some oils and some calibrations and little bits and pieces, but the bulk of it is done. The draper, I did most of that maintenance when we put it back in the shed, so that's pretty well ready to go as well. This morning it is tank day, so we're going to get going with that. These tanks have got to go on the end of the shearing shed here. Dad's sort of made a start spreading out some crusher dust as a bit of a base. I'm going to keep moving with that now. We're just going to try and get this relatively level so we can put these tanks here. Now the tanks are there's only about a 20 to 30 centimetre drop from the gutter to the inlet of the tank, so it is going to be relatively tight. I didn't think too much about that when I got those 25,000 litre tanks, but yeah, it should work out alright, so we'll make it work. This gutter down this end is actually not too bad because it points straight out. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but it's that way, so as long as it's, it goes downhill, it should go into the tank. That's the main thing. But anyway, it's going to be 33 today, pretty warm. And yeah, I want to try and get a bit of this crusher dust sorted out before it gets too warm, so let's get into it. Well, that is about as good as I can get that on my own. So I'm pretty happy with it. Looks decent. I sort of used these long bits of C-channel back here to try and get it relatively level. It's, yeah, like I said, it's as good as I'm going to get. Might need a hand really to lift these tanks in. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that because I have no lifting points on them. Anyway, that's a problem for future Henry. I'm dry as a dead dingo's donger, so I'm going... Flies are back. I'm going for a drink. Nice. So I have opted to put the tank inlets as close as I can kind of reasonably get them to the downpipe, just because there's not a whole lot of drop there, maybe 30 centimeters. So I just thought, oh, maybe it'll be easier to run them more direct. Whether that's the right thing to do or not, I'm not too sure, but that just means also that my inlets are my outlet, my overflows, if I can spit it out, are pointing into the middle here, that's fine. And then I'm going to link these two tanks together. I just got some 2-inch fittings here, ball valve. Got one of those on either side. So I've rummaged up a hole saw, got that there. I needed another 2-inch tank outlet. I didn't manage to get both of them the other day when I was in town, so I've got both of those now. And I've got some 2-inch poly, so we should be able to get these two tanks linked. Got a friend.
That will stick onto the tank, won't it?
No, not that one.
So don't drop it. That was hot, Dad.
Was it?
Yeah, why is this hot?
Because I need to get something in this hole and then out the top, and then I need to feed this down in through the tank and out the hole, like that. Of course. Snapped a drill bit. Lovely. Can you believe a plastic tank broke a drill bit? She must have been at the end of its life, that's for sure. Pia was hanging out with me before, and to get the tank outlet in on the inside of the tank, I threw a rope down, and her little arms just fit in there perfectly to be able to get that out of there, so that was handy. I'm on my own now though, so I don't know how I'm going to go. 2 tanks installed. 2-inch joiner between the tanks installed. We got a 1.5-inch outlet and a 2-inch outlet. They didn't have a 3-inch when I went in, so that'll be a project for another day. But the only thing I've really got left is, well, the overflow pipes, which I'm not worried about at all, and of course the down pipes into the tank, and that is it. So that's going to be beautiful. You cut hay, you taunt the weather gods to rain, and then you install 2 new tanks, and that will mean it definitely won't rain. But all in all, I'm pretty happy with it. Should be a good thing. Nice bit of extra storage, extra 50,000 litres. Might run some bore water down into here tomorrow and just make sure there's no leaks. Yeah, then before we get some rain one day, I will verify that, yeah, it's going to hold water well, and yeah, I haven't stuffed anything up there. But it has been a long day. Started pretty early this morning, a long warm day. Big shout out to Market Check. Thanks for the shirts, perfect for a long day out in the sun and the heat and the flies. If you're a farmer and you're looking for a hand with your grain marketing, be sure to go and check them out. I'll link all their details down below as always. And that's all I got for you. Thanks very much for watching. You guys have yourselves a good one. Till next time, see ya. I didn't want to stand still for too long then, because I'm standing right in a massive ant's nest.